Hi, I'm Ryan Schwertfeger, and welcome to the first episode of This Week in Oakland. We're glad that you've joined us for this brand new program here on Oakland TV that we're hoping is something a bit more uplifting, inspiring, helpful, and something good to watch for a change, as opposed to the endless barrage of press conferences and phone calls and news updates that we're getting about the coronavirus. So I hope that this program can bring you some helpful information and give you some ideas as to some nice activities and things that you can do while we're dealing with this current crisis going on. Now, obviously, for those who are watching right now, when this was made, you were obviously well aware as to what's going on. But if you're watching this in the future and you're wondering, why does Ryan have this horrible facial hair and hair that looks disheveled? Well, that's because you can go back in time and look up something called the novel coronavirus, or COVID-19. During this period that we're living in right now, the schools are closed, restaurants are only doing takeout and delivery, the supermarket you have to wear a mask, there's special times for seniors to go shopping, and this all stems back to a very contagious virus that's been going around the entire globe. And we've all had to make adjustments. And one of the adjustments I've had to make is can't get a haircut right now. So if you want to know why this program was made, you can look that up and see kind of what we were all going through as a people at this time. But for those who are watching this, still living in this period, I hope that you enjoy this program and other ones that we hope to follow as well. So let's get started with our first person who's made something for this show, who is one of our OCC commissioners, Andrea Levy, and she's going to be making some breakfast food.
What to do when the only can you can find in your pantry is from last Thanksgiving for pumpkin pie. Let's make some fluffy pumpkin pancakes. Hi, my name is Andrea, and today I'm going to show you how to make fluffy pumpkin pancakes, something that we're putting together with things that we have in the house, being that we're social distancing. So I'm going to start with the dry ingredients. I have everything already measured out and in place. Mise en place, be organized, have everything ready to go before you start. Makes things a lot simpler for you. All right, so what we're going to do is first take the flour. I double my ingredients because they eat a lot of pancakes in this house. So typically it would be 1.5 cups of flour. I have 3 cups. Then we're going to take what normally would be 2 tablespoons of sugar, doubled for me. And then we're going to take our baking powder and baking soda and salt, and that's 1.5 teaspoons of the baking powder and 3/4 teaspoon of the baking soda. And yes, I am reading, making sure I get it right. And then we're going to put in our spices. Now the spices for us vary a little bit. Normally you put in, it's a little heavy on the cinnamon, a little bit of ginger, and a little bit of nutmeg. I tend to go very light on the ginger in my house because the boys don't like it. I would make it spicier, but we tone it down a little bit for them. So you can play around with the flavors in there of what you personally like. And if you're using canned pumpkin that has spices in it already, taste it and you can adjust from there as well. All right, so then we take our flour and spices and sugar and we combine them so there's no spots in there that are too dark. You want it evenly spread out so that the flavor spreads out throughout the batter. All right, see? All spread. Hey, look at that. All right, now the next thing we're going to do in another bowl, you could do this in the bowl, and I bet my husband would be really happy if I only used one bowl because he says I use every bowl in the kitchen. But again, it's all about making sure the flavors are and the ingredients are mixed well together so you don't get too many clumps. So I do it in 2 bowls. Oh well. So the next thing we're going to do is put in our eggs. That's 4 whole eggs. And then we're going to mix them up. Break them a little bit. Because once you start filling the bowl with more liquids, it becomes a little more challenging to mix them well without getting them all over the place. Again, something my husband wouldn't like because more cleaning to do. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is put in our milk. And again, normally I would use buttermilk for this. However, lean times right now, things are not available and we're making the most of what we have. So I have learned that if you put a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of vinegar into your milk, it will make it resemble buttermilk. So that's what I've done. We've not done this before. And it is kind of clumpy, so I think that's kind of good. On its way to being buttermilk. I have made cheese doing that before, so I've seen it work as far as the clumping goes, but I've never actually used it in pancakes, so this is somewhat of an experiment, but I think it's going to be just fine. So we mix the eggs and we mix the buttermilk a little bit together, and then the next thing we're going to do actually is pour in melted butter. So I usually take a stick of butter because between the pancakes, the batter that I'm making, and then when I'm actually making the pancakes themselves, I tend to use about a stick of butter. Yeah, this is not a diet recipe, sorry. All right, so what we're gonna do now is take, we normally would do 3 tablespoons, but I do 6 because I've doubled my recipe, but normally it would be 3 tablespoons of butter into your batter. Batter, get it? The 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. And the rest of the butter I actually will use for the cooking purposes. And then the next thing we're going to do is the vanilla. Probably should cover the label. Like that matters, I don't know. But the vanilla extract is 1 teaspoon. So technically I would do 2 teaspoons in mine because again, my batter is doubled. And then I actually throw in 1 for good luck. All right, so we've got that in there. And then we give that a little mix. And then the last thing we're gonna do is the pumpkin puree. And this, it's about 3/4 of a cup that you're going to put into this. Again, I'm doubling, and it really depends on how much pumpkin you want it to taste like. It tastes good either way. And what am I using here? This one is a 1/2 cup. All right, so got more. And I'll go right in the sink. All right, and then we mix that up a little bit. Again, this is to make it easier when I put it into the batter, flour. And see, it comes out this nice orangey color. That's springy, I guess, a little bit. Orange, why not? All right, so now we're going to pour our batter into the flour as I drip it all over the place. And mix it up. Don't over mix it, because if you do over mix it, it gets more gluten-y, which means you get a chewier pancake, which doesn't always taste great. But if you like chewy pancakes, stir away. All right. Just so the flour is incorporated. And there we go. I think we're kind of there. So the next thing we're going to do is make the pancakes.
We'll be right back to hearing more about how to make Andrea Levy's pumpkin pancakes. But now we're going to take a quick break and we're going to switch to Salma, who decided to go on a nature walk in her neighborhood. All right, Selma, thank you for that very interesting nature walk. Now we're going to head back inside and we're going to talk to an Oakland resident who does a lot of work when it comes to closet organization. Not too bad.
I know right now we are hearing a lot of negative news every day. The future seems very uncertain and we're not sure how long we're going to be under quarantine. But I thought this video would really help you guys. This is something that you should be doing twice a year anyway. And know that editing your closet is a great use of energy. It gets you up from your computer. It gets you doing a project that has an end result. And at the end, you'll feel better because you'll have a more streamlined wardrobe. And when you have a more streamlined wardrobe, you will do, it'll be easier when you get up in the morning trying to figure out what to wear. So I recommend doing a closet edit twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. These are like the big edits because you're gonna literally be flipping over your closet. I don't recommend that you have all 4 seasons in your closet at the same time, even if you have the space to have it all there. The reason being is that it gets way too overwhelming and then you're not able to see what you actually own because you're digging through everything. So I'm going to give you a look inside my own closet first. The first video, we're going to talk about how to organize your closet. Everyone has different size closets. Some people have walk-in closets that are large. Some people have just a small closet that is just laid out straight. So you can use these tips to help you edit your own closet, but know that there are, you will adjust accordingly to your size. Also, keep in mind that this video is done shot with my husband. This is just, normally if I did a video like this, I would have a videographer, I would have my hair and makeup done. This is a very home video, so bear with me. I really just wanted to use this time to teach you something. So the first thing we're gonna do is walk into my closet. Okay, so come check out my closet. Welcome to my closet. I have a great walk-in closet and I'm going to show you how I organize it. So everyone's closet is a different size. So use these tips and kind of adjust it according to your actual closet size. So the way I organize my closet is by category. I highly recommend that you organize your closet by category so you can easily find the things that you need. So the first category that I have here is I happen to have a lot of tops, so I keep them all here on this square grid. So the first section I have here are my knits. So these are all organized. You should also organize your closet by color, your sections by color. So this is, I go from light to dark. Again, you can organize your colors whichever way you want. So if you want to show more black, that's fine too. This is just the way that I do it. The reason that you organize your categories by color is because it's easy for you to find it. So if you need to find a white top, you can quickly walk into your closet and find what you need. The categories that I'll talk to you about first here are like I said, the knits, and then we have the silk tops. So this is the section I have of silk tops. I tend to have a lot of these, so that's why I gave it more closet space. So again, I have them separated by color here. The next section I have down below are my jackets and blazers. These are not all my jackets and blazers. These are just some of them. I have other winter ones downstairs in our mudroom. So I have here also the blazers. I have on these heavier wooden hangers. I highly recommend to have heavier wooden hangers that can hold something like this because it's, again, heavier. So the other type of hanger I recommend is a slim hanger like this. The great thing about these hangers is that they turn at the top. So it's really convenient depending on how your closet is organized that you can turn it. And when you're getting ready, you can actually turn this and hang it on top of a door. There's just so many uses for these types of hangers. And the best part is that they save you a ton of space. So I highly recommend that you have these types of hangers. You can find them easily online. So this next section here, it's not the cutest section. These are my workout clothes. These are actually all the tops. The bottoms I actually have in my dresser. One of the things I'm realizing with COVID-19 is that I need a lot more cute athleisure clothes, so I'll be investing in those for spring. The next section I want to show you, come inside, is my dresses, which actually are behind the closed door. So if you see here, these are my dresses. This is just the way the closet was set up when we moved in. This is the built-ins that were already done. So I'm just adjusting my closet according to kind of how it's already arranged. So that's why I have the dresses here, because they need to be on a longer space. I had them separated by spring dresses, and then these are winter dresses. A great way to divide your closet is to use these awesome little plastic dividers. You can find them anywhere, and you can use them you can write on them with a marker, and you can use them to separate any category. So it's not just for me, because I own a lot of dresses, I use it for that. But you can use it to say things like, oh, I'm going to separate my shirts from my pants. Or you can use it for your kids too. It's a great tool because kids tend to have smaller closets. So the next section I want to show you guys are my skirts. So let me open the light here. So these are my skirts. So they are separated by pencil skirts, and then I have here my pleated skirts, and then also some A-line skirts. So again, I separated them within the skirt category, but most people don't have this many types of skirts, so you can just put them again with what works for you. This is not a perfect system. This is just an idea, and you can change it. You can start organizing your closet one way and decide later that you want to do it another way. Next I have here are my pants. I don't own a ton of pants. This is an area I do want to have more of. I want to have more pants that fit, but because of the work I do, I just don't need as many dressy pants. You may need more pants than me because of your job. So that's why they have like the least amount of space. So another hanger that I want to show you in this space are these, what are known as pant hangers. So these can actually hold 4 pairs of pants, or even 5 if you use this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So this is a great space saver, and you can actually put pants of the same color in here if you want, or you can put different colors. I recommend putting pants of the same color so that you can pull this out and say, hey, I want to wear black pants, but which of my black pants do I want to wear? And next I want to show you guys my denim wall. So I love denim. This is a huge part of my own wardrobe. I wear jeans a lot. So that's why I have this much space given to my denim. In our old condo, we actually had my husband create built-ins, and I had a denim wall there as well. So some of you might just use this for sweaters. I use this section like this for denim, and I'm so grateful that I have it because I can see my jeans. They're separated by color. So I have the lighter ones here, and then start to go to dark. I keep this here year round because you really do wear your jeans pretty much year round. So this stays. The only thing I would change is I would add a section. I would just move some things down and add a section for shorts. I have some jeans up here that I will be fitting into. These are ones that I ordered online, and they're just slightly snug. So they are up here for now. Then I have some sweaters here. I put away actually most of my sweaters because we're at the end of March right now in New Jersey, so I don't need to keep all my sweaters here. If we were still in winter, I'd actually have more sections here of sweaters. I kept a few because like this one I'll wear in the summer when it's still chilly out. So I have a few in case we have a snowstorm or some days where we're having maybe like 40-degree weather. I want to have some options available, but I don't want all of them because the season is changing. Next, I'm going to show you my favorite section, which is, of course, my shoe and accessory section. I love bags. I love shoes. Those are where I invest my money. So I have a good 2 sections here dedicated to my shoe. Actually, 3 sections from here to all the way over here for my shoes and accessories. So they do take up, if you see, about half my closet space, right? And believe it or not, I have a lot more shoes. So in the mudroom in the basement of our house is where I have my sneakers, and I have my ballet flats there and my flip-flops. So I am, like I said, I admit it, I'm a shoe addict, so that's why I give them more space. So, and the sneakers are things that I wear pretty much more often, so that I wanted them at a space that's accessible and easy to get to. So here I have my shoes organized by, these are pumps. My boots are here. I do have a couple more boots elsewhere, but I kept I keep most of them here. I still have some because I've been wearing them. And then I have my heels and of course my flats. So again, what this because I do have built-ins, and for those of you who do, you may have adjusters in there. So these, my closet here has places where I can adjust. So I adjusted the shelves accordingly. I did not put these built-ins in myself. We actually bought the house with the closet like this. So I just was able to adjust it to my needs. And then actually, no, let's go to this section. So now we're gonna show you the rest of my bags. I actually have a couple more bags that are not here, but these are my most everyday bags. This is a great little thing to buy. It's a little clear, what is this thing called? A clear holder. I forget the name, but here, I use this to put my clutches in. So this is a great space, and I have wallets in here too. I highly recommend these. And then I have something like this, and this I put my belts in. So you see I have my belts here. These drawers actually contain my bra and underwear. I'm not going to be showing you my underwear drawer. And then here are my scarves. So this is kind of the way I have arranged it. I know not all of you have the same amount of space as me. So again, if you have a smaller amount of space, then just adjust your proportions accordingly, right? And then those of you who have large spaces, I know some of you have really big closets. The really important thing for you to know is to not put everything in one spot. So even if you have the space to do it, don't put your entire closet in one space, because it's really hard when you're getting ready to know what to wear, because all of it's there and it becomes overwhelming. So put your out of season clothes, you can put them in bins, you can put them in vacuum seal bags, and you can store them in another space, or you can put them at the bottom of your closets. So I hope this helps you to see how you can organize your closet.
We all might feel a little stuck at home and kind of homesick. But I'll tell you, if you have a dog at home, your dog, I'm sure, is very happy to be seeing you for these additional hours and days during this crisis. So we want to make sure we're keeping our pets healthy too. So I spoke with Dr. Loredana Briganti and asked her for some advice as to how to make sure we can keep our dog's health in tip-top shape during this crisis. And she gave me some tips and tricks in terms of how to make sure that your pet's dental hygiene stays in good shape. So here's some advice from Dr. Briganti.
Hi, my name is Dr. Briganti, and I've been a practicing veterinarian for 26 years, and I've lived here in Oakland for 4 years. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your pet's dental health. We're going to talk about some tips and some products that you could use to help keep your pet's mouth healthier. So the most common disease in dogs and cats is periodontal disease. That is infection of the tissues around the teeth. A lot of people think about cavities first, because humans get cavities a lot as the most common dental problem, but dogs and cats don't get cavities very often. But periodontal disease is, like I said, the most common disease of all other diseases. So 90% of dogs and cats over the age of 2 years old have periodontal disease. So it is an important thing, because the infection in their mouth does affect their overall health. We now know that the infection in their mouth can go to other organs, such as their kidneys, liver, heart, even the brain. So it is important to control the infection by removing the plaque and tartar from the pet's teeth as often as possible. As with us, plaque builds up daily, and that's why we brush our teeth twice a day, and the same thing happens with your pet. So it is important to brush their teeth or do some sort of dental home care many times a week. So now we will talk about some of the dental products that you can use. There's several kinds of products, and you could find a list of the products that are recommended by veterinary dentists at the Veterinary Oral Health Council.org website. It's vohc.org, and there you can find a list of dental home care products that are recommended by veterinary dentists. Here are just some examples of products that you can use to keep your pet's dental health good. So this, of course, is a toothbrush, and you use it to mechanically remove the plaque from the teeth daily if possible. Otherwise, at least 3 to 4 times a week. And it's good to use a toothpaste that your pet likes the taste of. My dog, for example, does not like the mint. It makes him sneeze. So we use something like a chicken flavor or peanut butter flavor, which he likes. And we'll get back to tips on toothbrushing in a few minutes. One of the easiest ways to take care of your pet's teeth is with treats. And there's many different treats, and you do want to consult your veterinarian, of course, before giving your particular pet, any treats, depending on their health needs. You would want to always follow your veterinarian's recommendations on that. Some other methods where you wouldn't actually have to get in that pet's mouth, because we know unless they've been kind of used to it or trained for it, they may resist that. So there are also gels that will chemically prevent plaque from forming. And so you just would put it on your finger and apply it to your pet's mouth, and it would help prevent the plaque buildup. There is also powders that you could put on their food that prevent the plaque buildup and also help with the breath. And then there's water additives, which is probably one of the easiest things. But again, with all these products, you want to consult your veterinarian to make sure they're right for your pet. So some things, as a veterinarian, I've seen people do that aren't correct when taking care of their pet's teeth. Recently, I had a client tell me he wanted to use baking soda because he used that on his own teeth, but that is not a good thing to use on your pet's teeth because they're not supposed to swallow the baking soda. We can't teach them not to swallow it, and we can't teach them to rinse. So you always want to use a pet-specific product, like a toothpaste or a gel. And another thing not to do is to try to open your pet's mouth, because they will resist that. So basically you just have to lift their lip without actually prying their jaws apart. You just lift the lip, and then you could get in there with the brush, and you mostly have to just do the outer surface of the teeth. You don't have to get on the inner surface, because the tongue, believe it or not, actually helps keep that area clean. So mostly the issues are on the outer surface. So now we will show you a little demonstration of how we give a dog a treat. So taking care of your pet's teeth could be as easy as giving them a treat. Who's a good boy? Good boys. Here you go. And thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something, and I hope this inspires you to go take care of your dog's teeth.
All right, let's head back to Andrea and see how she's doing with those pumpkin pancakes.
All right, folks, here we go. Moving over to the pancake station. First thing we do, spray the pan away from the flame, like I tell my kids all the time. Not that they ever cook. However, I did teach them. But they never cook. Ever. And I don't cook all that much either, but I will say, since this social distancing has taken place, I think I've cooked more meals for my family than I have in the entire year, like 365 year. So we're cooking more now. All right, and because I'm cooking a lot of pancakes, I do it the double method. Yes, I have 2 pans out because otherwise I would be here all day. No, thank you. All right, so let's get our batter ready. And a little thinner than it usually is. but that's because the milk we use is fat-free milk, and buttermilk, it's just a thicker milk in general. But again, we are making do with what we have and make the most of it. So I have a medium flame. You don't want it too high because then the outside will burn too quickly and it won't get a chance to cook on the inside. So you want it to get bubbly here. Normally I have my fan on, but that will be too loud, so I'm keeping it off for the moment. So it might get a little smoky, but not too smoky. But you want it to be bubbling around the edges. If you do that, it gets nice and crispy. But the inside still stays, what would you call it? Fluffy, moist? No, shaking your head doesn't work. You can speak, it's okay.
I don't want to interrupt your...
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, you're the one I make pancakes for. Why do you like them?
Fluffy's a good description.
Thank you. All right. So again, we're waiting for this to dry up around the edges so that I can get under there and flip it over. And it really is like a traditional pancake, but they get a little more golden. Their color is really pretty. I don't know how else to put it, but they're pretty pancakes under normal conditions. However, with our milk and vinegar solution, I don't know if that impacts the color or not. This is somewhat of an experiment, that we're doing together. All right, so let's take a look and see what we've got here. All right, they still look nice. Can you see? Not bad. Looks a little different, but the real test will be in the flavor, and if they taste like a big wad of vinegar or buttermilk pumpkin pancakes. Let's keep our fingers crossed on this one. All right, so give it a chance to rise a little bit. Don't want to overcook it, but you certainly don't want to undercook it. There's nothing worse than wet, gooey pancakes, at least for me. That's not my thing. Okay, look at that rise a little bit. You can get in there. You see that little rise? Let's see, it's coming up a little bit there. Getting a little fluffy. Again, not as fluffy as usual, but that's the milk situation. They still should rise. I guess we could have put a little more baking soda and powder in, offset it a little bit, but I think they'll still be okay. Let's see how we're doing here. Another 30 seconds. And then basically what we do from here after we taste it is adjust the batter. So if it needs more salt, if it needs more sugar or cinnamon, this is your opportunity to adjust the flavor. So I think we're gonna actually take this one out for a minute. And let's get a fork. Now, of course, if you're eating at my house, I'm not doing this to your food, but to my family. Yes. All right. Gosh, I feel like those cooks on TV eating their own food. Yeah. Actually, they're pretty good. Needs more salt. All right. The pancakes are coming along. They are a little thinner than the normal recipe with the regular buttermilk. However, the texture of them still remains, and they're really good. I've adjusted my seasonings a little bit, added a little salt. That's what it was missing. And they're about ready to be eaten. I see somebody out with a fork right now, and the maple syrup and, dare I say, whipped cream are coming out of the refrigerator. And it looks like they are going to enjoy some fluffy pumpkin pancakes. So here's to social distancing with making the best of what you have. Cheers to everybody, and thank you for everybody, what you're doing out there. Tough times, and we're making the most of it.
Last but not least, we spoke with Jerry Angermoor, who's going to tell us about her herb garden.
Hi, this is Jerry, and I'm going to take you on a little tour of my garden. have a couple of visitors here. Robin just left, and a cat is approaching. But I have a few clips to show you some of the plants that, even though it's early spring, soon we'll be able to have a real garden here. Okay, this is a springtime activity that anyone can try at home. Oh, tell us, Ivy, what did you do here?
So I took some leftover celery bottoms from the bunch. I cut off all the celery that I wanted to use and then set it in a shallow bowl of water for about a week and a half or so, and it started sprouting leaves out of the middle. And the same thing with the carrots. I bought carrots that had carrot greens actually still attached. Then I used what carrot I wanted and left some of the green and also set them in a shallow water bowl. And they started sprouting. So hopefully we can plant these soon.
What you doing, buddy?
So the leaves are coming out of the top, and roots should be coming out of the bottom into the water. And when you have some good roots, then and frost is definitely past, and you should be able to plant that in the ground for a crop of new carrots and celery. It seems springtime is full of yellow flowers, the earliest flowers in spring. But now, too, we have newer signs. This peach tree is full of blossoms, and hopefully they will all become peaches, because you don't even need bees to fertilize the peach trees. So we've had a big peach harvest in the past. Last year we didn't have so many, but it looks like it enjoys this spring and looks like it may be very fruitful this year. It's before Easter now, and this is the time when the daffodils come out. In Germany they're called the Easter bells, the yellow flowers, and they certainly herald in the season this time. Also the hyacinths are you could smell the beautiful scent that's coming out of these freshly blooming hyacinths. Here are some more daffodils, also known as Osterglocken, or Easter bells in Germany, because it's the time of year that they blossom and bloom. Here are some miniature Osterglocken and some full-size daffodils. These daffodils are interesting because they have some in white with yellow interiors, and then she also has some completely yellow, as we're used to seeing, and as many of the early spring flowers that have that color. I see my patch of jewel weed plants are just starting to sprout. When they become full size, they will have beautiful yellow flowers that look like jewels on them. But right now, I'm not going to pull out any of these. I don't consider them weeds. I'm very reactive to poison ivy. But these plants, if you wash your hands with them, if you happen to have touched any poison ivy, it will, and it's well known, it will wash off the oil of poison ivy, and you won't have a reaction to it. Jewelweed plants are also well known for having edible seeds, so when they grow up, get their little yellow flowers that turn into seeds, you can eat them, and before they pop and spread all over your yard, so that you'll get more jewelweed plants next spring. The New Jersey state flower is just starting to blossom in the yards out around us, the violet. This is the first one I've seen this spring. These are very sweet. I know the Amish children eat the blossoms like sugar because of the sap inside of them. They taste sweet. So I expect my yard to be covered with them within some weeks, and I'm very glad to see this sign of spring. I also see this sign of a Norway maple just starting to sprout, and I'm probably going to pull that out because I don't have room in my yard for another Norway maple, which they are beautiful, but they're very invasive. So, but I am looking forward to the violets.
Well, thanks for watching this first episode of This Week in Oakland. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. Now, there are more episodes coming of This Week in Oakland, so make sure you come back to Oakland TV and watch us on there, or watch us on YouTube and find out the latest episodes and see what's going on our YouTube page. Now, we want you to get involved too, all of you residences in Oakland. Now, as we've obviously known and we've seen in our social media, people are showing support for our first responders, our grocery store workers, our doctors and nurses, and those essential personnel who have to be going into work during this time. So we know that you've been lighting candles in your windows at night, you've been clapping on some evenings to show your support, drawing rainbows in the window or chalking up your driveway, and we want to see those photos. So send us an email to occ@oakland-nj.org. That's occ@oakland-nj.org. Send us your picture and tell us the name of your family, and we will put your photo and your family's name on the next episode, or the next few episodes even, of This Week in Oakland. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe, and we'll see you for the next episode of This Week in Oakland.